Hello Sagittarius, and welcome to my channel Tarot by Gabrielle. This is going to be a general reading for Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs, and we're doing a new spread for this round of readings looking at your past, present, and future energy in love. The goal of this reading is looking at kind of what you've been through in love, how it's affecting you now, / like where your blockages lie, and then what you need to know moving forward to create the relationships that you ultimately deserve and desire to attract them and sustain them in your life. As I do in all of my readings, I've pulled the overall energy and clarified those messages, as well as the overall theme, which we will jump into in just a second, but I still have the tarot deck I'll be using, the clarification deck, and the advice deck that I will be using to close out the reading in the extended. Any information on the extended reading or on booking a personal reading with me is in the description box below. Last thing, please remember that these are general readings. They are not here to resonate fully for everyone, and they won't resonate fully for everyone. So please do remember to take what does resonate and helps your personal situation and leave what does not. Also, please bear with me. I am kind of still getting over a flu-like thing. I'm feeling much better, but I have some lingering symptoms. So some coughing and sneezing here and there. So bear with me through that in this reading. All right, Sagittarius, in your recent past, you have a journey with the Knight of Swords in reverse. The way that I kind of see this is like you've been on a journey in your love life, and I feel like things have been tough, to put it lightly. Now, this Knight of Swords in reverse it can be this energy of chasing, of trying to get someone to see your value, trying to change someone's mind about you, trying to change somebody else or change yourself so that you think to be what you think someone else needs. Chasing can come in so many different forms. Waiting on someone to choose you, whatever the case might be. And I feel like there's a pattern of this that has popped up in your relationships here and there, and it's kind of this recurring pattern. I feel like is the goal of what this like breaking out of that pattern is really what I feel the goal of this reading is, because the overall theme for the reading is free yourself. And so I feel like this is about freeing yourself from the past in some way. Because your current energy is tempting with the Six of Cups. So I feel like you are often feeling very tempted to either go back to the past or to stay in a relationship that you've been in for a really long time, whichever one resonates with you, even though it's like that that's not good for you. I think that sometimes we have a tendency to overly romanticize the past, and we think back on how things were, and we're like, oh, but that's better than being alone, or bare minimum is better than having nothing, or I better stay in this relationship because if I don't, even though it doesn't really make me happy, what if nothing better ever comes along? And I feel like we can kind of be tempted by chemistry and loneliness and all of these things that we might actually keep us stuck in repeating patterns that actually keep us from what it is we're ultimately looking for. Because in your immediate future you have, and it's kind of funny because I've seen this card has come out for a few different signs, but you have bright future with the Ace of Pentacles here in your immediate future. And I feel like the universe is saying things can get really good for you. Like there are opportunities in love that you aren't even fully aware of yet, but there's a need to make sure that you are choosing in each and every situation, and this isn't always easy, but making sure you are doing what is best for you, and that you're looking out for you, and you're making sure your needs are being taken care of, and that you're protecting your peace and protecting your energy and your space, because that's the only thing that's going to, we don't attract a love that we desire with the way that we look or the things that are outside of ourselves. You can probably attract a lot of the wrong people that way, but we attract the right people with our soul, with our relationship with ourselves, with the energy that we show up with the deeper parts of ourselves. And when we focus on aligning more and more with the love of ourself, we give off this energy of confidence and self-respect, and that ultimately is what attracts the right people for us. But when we sacrifice that on some level by not respecting our boundaries or whatever the case might be, we give off this energy of feeling like we're not as deserving of the love that we're truly desiring, and then that kind of perpetuates the cycle of not receiving it. So I don't know, lots to talk about today. So let's start, Sagittarius, with your recent past. You have Journey with the Knight of Swords in reverse. Recent past here for Sagittarius. Seven of Cups. Ooh. It's like confusion. Not knowing what the right answer is. Not knowing what to do. Not knowing... Okay, where is this stemming from? I want more on the Seven of Cups. Ooh, King of Pentacles in reverse. And then the High Priestess in reverse. So... this to me is kind of a fight between like your logic and your intuition. A fight between your logic and your intuition. So, okay. And I feel like that's why, and the King of Pentacles, the reason I'm getting logic from that is like the material versus the spiritual. Like what makes the most like sense circumstantially versus following your intuition, having faith in a better outcome. And I feel like that's, it's like, it basically feels like a fight between your head and your heart. Like knowing that you deserve better, knowing in your heart that you deserve better, knowing in your heart that you want more than a relationship is providing you, but your head saying, well, what if nothing ever gets better than this? What if this is as good as it can get? What if, this person is your soulmate or your twin flame, and if it doesn't work out, what if, you'll never have something as good as this could be? And that fight between your head and your heart, in that fight between your head and your heart, I feel like you've spent a lot of time listening to your head. And we do that, and that's okay. But getting out of our head and into our heart requires us getting in tune with what it is that we wish to feel in our relationships. Because when we're confused, I saw something that was like, you're not confused. You know exactly what the right answer is for you, but you're afraid of the short-term discomfort that would come with choosing your peace or choosing yourself, or the fear and the anxiety and the insecurity you'd have to face if you did make the right decision. And so I think a lot of times we think we're confused because we get caught up on like the what ifs or the fear, the doubt, the insecurity. But I feel like this is about learning to follow your heart. Now, your heart isn't chemistry. It's not like how, magnetic a connection is, but your heart is, does this align with what it is I'm truly deserving of? That's where your heart, your intuition is really coming from. All right, more for Sagittarius, recent past. And love. Ooh, okay, that turned around in my hand. Strength in reverse. I gotcha. Three of Pentacles, Tower, World. Woof. Okay. It feels like a cycle of the Tower. Like things falling apart, failed relationships, infidelity. I don't know. Whatever the case might be. Just like a pattern of some sort. But it always ends in the Tower. And a big reason for this Tower, it's almost like sometimes we don't realize that our nervous system, your ego, prefers a familiar hell over an unfamiliar heaven. So it wants what it can predict. So when we're stuck in patterns, a lot of times it can feel like we can logically decide, oh, this is the best thing for me, because it's what is the most familiar. It's what feels like on some level the most comfortable. Even though it continues to provide you with the same outcome, it's like this feeling of being stuck in a never-ending loop. It's like doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result, but maybe not being consciously aware of the fact that that's what you're doing. Because again, this is about freeing yourself. It's like freeing yourself from the Tower is what it feels like. Because it started to really impact your self-worth. You've started to kind of second guess, like, well, am I good enough for love? If it always ends in the Tower, then, I must be me. Like, I must not be good enough. I must not have what it takes to have the kind of relationships that I deserve and desire. And the universe is like, no, that's not true. There's just a pattern at play. And getting to the root of that pattern and breaking out of that pattern is the goal. What else does Sagittarius need to know about their past energy and love? Stuck, things not moving forward, because okay, yeah. So it's like when you were choosing like your head, the logic, that's what leads to things not progressing. That's what leads to things not moving forward. So this is about getting more in tune with what it is that you truly desire to experience in your relationships outside of like what's on the surface. You know, I desire to feel loved and supported and seen and heard, and I desire a partner that reciprocates, whatever the case is. But then you have this person that maybe you have a strong connection with, and you have fun with them, and maybe there's a physical connection, but they don't provide you with any of those things that you actually are looking for, but you hold on to it because of what it is on the surface, and you try to create those things, and then continue to get disappointed when those things don't happen. So when we get in touch with what it is that we want to feel, we stop doing things that don't really align with our heart. Because in our mind, we say, oh, this is so good on paper, this is so good on the outside, or I have strong feelings for this person, or whatever the case is. Therefore, this must be as good as it could ever get. So we ignore our needs, and we push those to the side for the sake of a connection, for the sake of making something work, which will always end in a tower. And I feel like that's a lot of what this reading is kind of talking about for you here, Sagittarius. Freeing yourself from that pattern, freeing yourself from the pattern of the tower. All right, current energy for Sagittarius. What does Sagittarius need to know about their current energy in love? Current energy for Sagittarius here. Magician. Ooh, okay. I feel like you're working on trying to manifest abundance here. Hang on. This feels this is confusing. I know, like this Ten of Pentacles here. It almost feels like there's a part of you that like pushed a lot of this to the side. It was like, I'm just gonna focus on like my Ten of Pentacles, like maybe money or a career, but in the back of your mind, still very much desiring like more in your love life. But why does that have anything to do with this message? Hang on. Magician with the Ten of Pentacles, clarity on this. So, okay. I feel like you're trying to move forward here. But there's this part of you, and I already kind of talked about this, there's a part of you that's consistently being pulled back to past patterns here. And it's like you're wanting to repeat a cycle. Now, there's something that I talk a lot about, and it's the difference between our instinct and our intuition. I just kind of mentioned this in the past, and I talk about this a lot on my channel, but our instinct is to keep us in places that are familiar. Your ego is not to be demonized. Its sole purpose is to keep you alive. It's survival. It's whatever it can do to make sure that you don't die. And what it wants to do is keep you in places that it knows it can survive. So painful cycles. That's why it prefers a familiar hell. It knows it can survive it. It knows what it feels like. So when we're working to build a better life for ourselves, whether it's in love or in any other aspect of our life, we are, at some level believing in the potential of an unfamiliar heaven, right? That's often why good things happening in our life feel too good to be true, is because it is outside of the realm of what we are used to experiencing. So when it comes to imagining a love life that aligns with, all of these things that you desire, that in your mind might be too good to be true to you, because to you, you're so used to what you're used to. So on some level, whether or not you fully realize it, and not just you, Sagittarius, but as humans, we have a tendency to do this. We hold on to people and situations that remind us of what is familiar. So we'll get into either it happens with the same person we repeat cycles with, or we'll actually repeat relationship cycles with different people. And it's because those people remind us of people from our past, and we repeat those cycles. It's very, very tempting for us to want to go toward those habits and those behaviors and those cycles, because it is what is so familiar. So I feel like what's happening is because of what's going on here in this chaos that I feel has been your love life in this past energy here, I feel like you're trying to kind of put it to the side and focus on maybe other aspects of your life, but there's still this lingering desire of wanting more. And because you're wanting more in your love life, but you're believing that it's not possible for you to have it, there's this pull and this draw to go back to the past, or to stay where you're at, even though there's this energy of not being fully fulfilled. So it's almost like trying to distract yourself a little bit, which is fine. Sometimes we gotta. But there's something deeper, I feel like, happening here that the universe is asking you to address. All right, current energy for Sagittarius in love. Current energy for Sagittarius in love, please. Dog hair all over me all the time. So whether or not you realize it, you're in this, you're being very divinely guided right now. But there's this attachment to something from your past. I don't know if it's a person or a cycle. So it could be one specific person, or you have a tendency to attract emotionally unavailable people. That's what I'm trying to get at. And the universe is really asking you to, as you are in your current energy, and as you're moving forward, to try to approach your love life from the perspective of believing that the love you truly desire exists. Because a part of you is doubting that it does, which is what has kept you stuck in cycles that makes you feel like it's not possible. Because the Five of Pentacles in reverse is this reminder that what is meant for you will never pass you. We've never actually lost what is truly meant for us to experience. Sometimes it can feel like that when things don't go according to our plan or according to what we expect, but we've never actually lost what is meant for us, because what is meant for us doesn't ever pass us. And the universe is saying what is meant for you actually is very much ahead of you, but you have to fight the urge to go backwards to create this. To go back, it's back to something, or to stay in something. I don't know exactly which one is going to resonate. Now maybe for some of you, maybe you've actually found a good relationship, and it's a healthy relationship, and you're having the urge to blow it up, to walk away from it. I feel like this could apply to so many different ways, in so many different ways. So again, remember to take it as it resonates. But I feel like this is basically approaching your love life from the perspective of doing something different than you usually would. Saying, okay, in the past, if I've made these decisions, what decisions can I make now that are different than the past? I feel like that's a lot of what this is about, freeing yourself from past patterns. It's tempting to go back to the past and to go back to those past patterns, but that doesn't necessarily mean that that's what's best for you. What else does Sagittarius need to know? Yeah, Eight of Swords in reverse, approaching from an unlimited place here, because here's the Ten of Cups. This is still, actually I feel like these are both upright. This is still, you can have this. You can have this Ten of Cups. It's yours, but you have these limiting beliefs about it. Maybe that it's again, I get this idea that you believe that what it is you truly deserve is too good to be true, which is what has made you make a lot of the decisions that you have in the past, because you're oh, this is too good to be true. the love that I truly desire is too good to be true, so I should, settle for this or chase it in this person or whatever the case might be. And the universe is saying, no, there is somebody out there who will love you in the way that you are truly deserving of, and who will choose you and who will make you feel loved and valued and cared for. But you have to believe in it. What you want wants you, but what you want can't find you if you're not open to it. And I think that a lot of the time, we get like a little impatient. And again, like our loneliness takes over, our insecurities take over, and we start to believe that our feelings are true. Remember not to believe everything you think and feel. Remember never to go back to, our feelings are often what pulls us into self-sabotage when we act from a place of emotion. Our emotions are necessary and we have to experience them, but you don't have to believe them, and you certainly don't have to act on them. In fact, I would say if you look back at your life and you look at all of the decisions that you made that you like regret, or that you wish you would have made differently, not that I don't believe in regret. I think we make every decision that we need to make to learn from it, but it was probably a decision that was made from emotion, and a decision that was made from a place of feeling instead of a place of heart and groundedness. And again, that kind of goes back to understanding to make decisions from a place of intuition and heart, and follow it, regardless of how hard it might be in the moment. So I think that this is about, because this is kind of this energy of being trapped in, an experience that doesn't align with what it is you truly desire. And this is about you having the power to break yourself out of that by, again, doing things differently than you would typically do in the past. If you were the best version of yourself, assuming, today, if you were the best version of yourself, what would that version of you do? If you believed you were deserving of the love that you desire, that you were truly lovable, and that the universe was supporting you fully on that path to creating those kinds of relationships, what would you do? How would you approach your love life? What does Sagittarius need to know moving forward in order to attract the love they deserve and desire? So this is a very divinely guided. It's like the universe is trying to get you closer to the love that you desire, but it's again instinct versus intuition. Your intuition is trying to move you forward to this bright future, to opportunities that you can't yet see. Your instinct is trying to keep you stuck on past experiences. Does Sagittarius need to know about their future energy? Queen of Pentacles. Oof, okay. I feel like there's this desire here, Sagittarius, for you to find stability in your life. And I feel like that's a lot of what this Tower is it like feels like you like get close to maybe a place of stability, and then things kind of fall apart. I think that the more that you work on finding that kind of stability within, the more that you're going to be able to experience it in your outer environment, as above, so below, as within, so without. And I feel like this is the universe saying, the more you make decisions, because the Queen of Pentacles to me is like grounded, like being very grounded, having 2 feet in reality. The more you make decisions from a grounded place and not from emotion, and a grounded place being, I am lovable, I am deserving, grounded in those personal truths, those decisions are going to lead you to better experiences. It's just hard when the emotions are flying and the insecurities are there and the fear starts to creep in. That's when we go, oh, maybe I should stay in this relationship that isn't serving me, or maybe I should go back to something, or maybe I should repeat this pattern in this person that reminds me of this past person, whatever the case might be. But the universe is saying you don't want to go back to the past. The past is not where you have a bright future, not a bright past, right? The past is not where the opportunities you're looking for really lie. So as you move forward, it's changing the place you make decisions from. Trying to make decisions from this belief that you are capable of having the love you truly deserve and desire, so you don't settle for it or chase it in people who don't see your value. Because the worst thing that we could ever do for ourselves is let other people determine our value and think that other people not choosing you means that you're not valuable, and so we try to prove our value to them. That's not, that's not going to lead to feeling valuable, because at some level you're saying, I'm unvaluable and I need you to show me that I am valuable. Chasing is this idea that we have to prove our worth, and we have to prove to people that we're worth being treated well, and that's not true. Your worth is not something to be challenged or questioned. It is something to either be seen and respected, or to, if someone isn't capable of doing that, loving them from afar. All right, what else does Sagittarius need to know about their future in love? I feel like there's stability here for you. Look at that, 2 of Cups. Ooh, 8 of Cups. Oof. It's like walking away from something here leads to the 2 of Cups. The 8 of Cups leads to the 2 of Cups. And this 8 of Cups is kind of this journey here. It's like a journey leads to love. It all leads to love. That's what this feels like. It all is leading to love. And I think at the root of it, it's not just love in terms of love for somebody else or somebody else's love for you, but love of yourself, right? The more that you come from this place of believing that you are deserving and lovable, the more that you are furthering that love for yourself. And our relationships with other people are a direct reflection of our relationship with ourselves. So when we're loving ourselves fully, we create that reflection in others. So it just feels like this is like the journey to love. That's what this, like if I was going to cheesily title this reading, that's what this feels like, the journey to true love. And I feel like that's what this is about, but freeing yourself from not true love is kind of what is leading you toward this opportunity for this 2 of Cups. I might title it that. It is kind of cheesy, but I don't know. Could be sweet. All right, immediate future for Sagittarius. What does Sagittarius need to know? This is so interesting. King of Cups, Knight of Swords. It's coming from like this balanced place, but hang on, what is this Knight of Swords saying? Because it's upright. You had it in reverse in your past. Clarifying this King of Cups and Knight of Swords here in Sagittarius' future energy. Page of Wands. Ooh, okay. Judgment in reverse. Sometimes we don't realize that a lot of the cycles in our life are generational cycles. Cycles that our parents have repeated and that they learned from their parents and that our grandparents learned from their parents and so on and so forth. This is about breaking out of, this isn't just like a cycle within your life. This is like breaking generational curses here with this Page of Wands, because the King of Cups, it to me is how's the best way to explain what that is? Like what is the word I'm looking for? It's like coming from a place of emotional intelligence, I guess. I don't like that word though. Hang on, let me figure out a better way to say this. It's like emotional intelligence that surpasses making decisions from a place of wounding instead of making decisions from a place of your worth. I think that's the best way I could sum up what this King of Cups is really saying. And I feel like that is what it really gets into the generational cycles thing here, is like our generational cycles exist because of the wounds placed on us from our parents, right? When your parents, only give you transactional love, you learn transactional love. When you are only given bare minimum love, you learn bare minimum love. You're taught that you're not lovable and that you're not good enough, and then you pass that down to your kids and so on and so forth. I'm not saying you're doing that, but that's just kind of the way our wounds, if not healed, are passed down to the next generation. And a lot of how we heal those cycles is we learn to become aware of our wounds and of the things that we believe about ourselves, such as I'm undeserving, I'm not good enough for love, I'm not lovable, and we make decisions from a different place. It's not those feelings going away. You might still have feelings that you're not lovable, but you don't make decisions from a place of not being lovable. You know, you don't chase after relationships or, you know, try to change yourself or others to feel more lovable. Instead, you say, okay, I don't feel lovable, but I know I am, and I'm going to act from that place. That's kind of what this King of Cups is, making decisions from a place of emotional intelligence that surpasses leading with wounds instead of your worth. I had someone comment that on a video once, that was like, they said, I have to start to learn to lead with my worth and not my wounds. And I was like, yes, that is the perfect way to sum it up. And I feel like it's kind of a lot about what this is talking about here. And, you know, I think that if you looked at, you know, kind of generational cycles that existed for you, maybe your parents in love, even your grandparents in love, you maybe will start to see some similarities, or at least start to get to the kind of core wounding that has led to some sort of cycle that is repeated here for you. But all right, this is about freeing yourself from past cycles on the journey to true love. All right, we're going to hop on over to the extended, focusing on what you can do right now to ensure you're moving forward in alignment with your higher self to attract the love you deserve and desire. This is what you need to know. The extended is what you can do. As always, thank you so much, Sagittarius, for your support of my channel. I do obviously hope that this reading helped and resonated with you in a way that you were needing today. And as always, I wish you nothing but love and healing on your journey moving forward. All right, bye, Sagittarius.